You are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
It was still awesome because you hear like they're singing in the background, and it was just super football-y.
The Grey Cup was there.
Yeah, I was just like, Canada barfed in that room, and it was amazing.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
Riley's in the shotgun, looking downfield, and then throws. It is up in the air to the goal line. Bounces. What a catch! What a catch by Duke Williams! Touchdown, Eskimos! Bryant Mitchell! It's going to be intercepted. Arjun Colhoun.
Mike appears to be a CFL encyclopedia.
Welcome back to the Turf District. It's another episode of the Eskimo Empire Podcast brought to you by United Construction Company. Check out all the great builds they do at unitedconstruction.ca and check out all of our links and social media at eskempire.ca. I'm Andrew, and in the Turf District with me is Superfan Mike.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Really?
Well, we kind of are.
Well, I guess kind of, yeah.
Maybe you guys.
And
People
of
say we
course,
monkey around.
the one and only Commissioner K.
Hi.
How are you?
You know.
Wow, don't get too excited or anything.
Post Grey Cup depart. I don't know.
It's like
postpartum depression.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say postpartum, but
Post-party depression.
Post-party depression. I like that. That's the name of the show now. Post-party depression. So, have you recovered
Oh, yeah.
from Grey Cup?
Y'all drank. I just was on a high on the Grey Cup. No need for alcohol.
That's all right. I mean,
even sluice juice?
come
Yeah,
on.
no, I nursed every time I was sociable, I was like,
Oh, that is not how you're supposed to do it.
well, that's how I did it, and boy, it was awesome.
This is our first time. We should have taken her under our wing.
That's in the next year. Let me tell you, it's going to be
Sluiced.
We're all going to be doing the free next year.
Well, you know
how that's
why?
gonna go.
I had things I had
Oh,
to do
my.
on Saturday, so I couldn't get toasty.
Yes,
Right.
that's true. That's true. And yes, I'm glad you still were able to make most of the festivities.
Yes, absolutely. I
That's a
wouldn't
good
miss
thing.
it.
We're going to cover more in as we talk more about it. But favorite part, super fan of the Grey Cup this year.
Again, just getting to see everybody. I love every year. There's certain people you only get to see once. Joe Pritchard from Rouge, White, and Blue. The only time we ever get to see him is at Grey Cup because he lives in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Bit of a trek,
I
right?
actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, before I used to see Brian from BC Lions Den more often because we'd go to the games there when I lived in Victoria.
Yeah.
Now it's just a Grey Cup and that kind of thing. So guys like that, getting to see, of course, the Trio Grande from the Stampeders band.
Yes, absolutely.
Just stuff like that is always great. And the other thing would be the Legends Luncheon. I love it every year. I make sure to go every time I can. And this time was just... it blew every other one away.
Absolutely.
Getting to see all of those legends in one room.
Especially in your own city.
That's what I mean, because every city tends to load up on their particular alumni. And this one here, I mean, when I went in 2010, there were several Eskimos there. But this time there must have been close to 70 or 80 of them.
Wow.
It was crazy.
We got to talk to Dale Potter, linebacker
so
from
awesome.
the 70s through 84, 85. Just an amazing storyteller. I would love to get him onto the podcast. Because
Working
he can
on it.
tell a story.
Yes, working on it. Yeah.
that smile.
And he was just such a genuine guy
Yep.
too, right? Like it was so easy to chat with him. So I really, I'm looking forward to having another conversation
Yeah,
with him.
absolutely.
Yeah. The other one that stood out to me there, but it kind of stood out a couple of times. I finally met face to face Matt Dunnigan on Thursday night
Yep.
at the Spirit of Edmonton
That was
room.
neat.
And I only got a few minutes to talk to him, but he's very empowering. He's very
Outspoken,
real.
too.
Like, oh yeah, and
Like it.
he'd had a few
Yeah.
drinks. It was wonderful. But you know what? Like, he was talking about stay strong.
Yep.
And I was telling him how about my back and all that kind of stuff, and he was just like, that's what we all go through. We all go through these struggles, and that's why I always say to stay strong, and you'll get through. And he was unreal.
Just a great guy.
Just a great guy. So I'm hoping that we'll find a way to chat with him in the near
Yeah.
future as well. Now, Kayla, this was your first one, and I know you talked about it on the Periscope.
Yeah.
But tell us your favorite part, because I love hearing the first time perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's almost one each day. Like, I don't know if we have time for this podcast, but like, I'd love to do like a.
We'll break down day by day in a second, but let's go with like your
the good, because I just like that's what I want to do with my words right now. It's just the word vomit. Honestly, I think just the experience in a whole. Like, I know like Thursday, probably if I had to pick, it would be that first Thursday.
Yeah.
Just because it just exceeded what I thought going into it, and gonna get a little personal, which I usually don't like doing, but the last month or two kind of slipped into like a depression, just was not having a good time. Didn't even actually want to go on Thursday, and like kind of battling my own demons, like being super introverted, didn't want to be around people, wanted to be little nuggets stuffed in my bed and just hiding from the world.
Right.
But like, I conquered that little mountain in my brain and said, nope, this is a once in a lifetime thing. You have to go, Kayla. Get out of your own. Let's do this. So that's exactly what I did. And when I showed up, I was so elated and so happy. And I have no one else to thank except my CFL family for being more than I needed at that moment, for being supportive and loving and not even knowing like what was going on in my brain, but just loving me and feeling that camaraderie and friendship and family. Like, it's just, you can't explain it. You have to experience it. Like, everyone's different, but for me, it was just that thing that I needed at that particular time. And I am more in love with the CFL than I was before, and I didn't think that could happen.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I don't, there's no way we're going to top that.
No.
Well,
Next topic.
That's right.
Well, that's why I just want to, like, if you don't have something, seriously consider, like, watching the CFL, coming to games, meeting people, because it's not just about football. That's what I keep saying to my friends and stuff. Like, I love the game, don't get me wrong, but there is something so special about this league that I don't think no other league on this planet has.
They wouldn't. There is absolutely no other league where you could get in a room people wearing every color of every jersey and not have some type of antagonistic issue.
Some teams that don't even exist anymore.
Absolutely.
Or didn't exist in the first place.
Exactly. And we're all in the same room, and like you said, it's all about the game. It's all about the people who are fans of the game.
Yeah.
And our love of it all together. And it's I mean, I remember in 2015, because that was the first one that I went after being fairly active on Twitter and things. And like you said, for the first time, you're meeting these people face to face, but it's like you're already friends.
Yeah.
So it's just, you just keep talking. And this one again, like, I had so many people that were asking about my progress, because they've been following and talking to me all the way through since January. And it was really just amazing. It's probably part of the reason that I lost my voice on Wednesday nights, because I was doing so much yelling over music, but it was just so great to see people.
Yeah. And the thing about Grey Cup versus, say, the NHL is, when the last game is going to be.
That's right.
Whereas in the NHL, it's a best of 7, so it could be anywhere from game 4, 5, 6, or 7. So you can't really get that one spot where everyone comes out, has a great time for the week. Same with Major League Baseball, same kind of thing. So this and the Super Bowl, and Super Bowl just wants to be the Grey Cup anyway.
And that's really what it wants. It's very true.
You ever tried to drink out a Lombardi Trophy? Come on.
No, you cannot do that. Yeah. Let's very quickly say thank you to everyone that took some time during Grey Cup week to vote for us in the Twitter Awards.
Yeah, for sure.
Congrats to our brothers there at BC Lions Den.
Very well deserved.
Absolutely. And I mean, if we were going to miss on the three-peat, that's I have no problem handing over the trophy to the fake trophy to BC Lions Den. But thank you to all of you. I mean, it truly is moving to me when we see these things and you see so many people taking the time to plop a vote in, and it really is. It's just moving to me. So thank you very much for.
And thanks
for
to
doing
Mr. Nice Socks for sponsoring. That's
absolutely
amazing.
Yes.
That's the only reason why I'm bitter. I'm like, I want to donate to
Well,
our charities.
I think we need to talk to Mr. Nice Socks about doing something with the Eskimo Empire
Yeah,
podcast.
no,
I think
I agree.
we need to do that.
I agree.
Yes, I think
I
we're going
agree.
to have to do
Everybody
that.
wins.
Everybody wins.
All right. Well, before we talk about more festivities, let's take 2 seconds to talk about the game itself.
What game?
There was a game. I know, it's crazy. It's kind of the ugly part, but 27 to 16 for the Stampeders. So congrats to the Stamps, and of course all of our Stamps friends. But also thank you to them for not destroying the room. That's very good, and we will take all
Dwayne
the
works
same
magic.
care next year.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we're gonna do.
Hey, like I said, Toronto won in Ottawa, Ottawa won in Toronto, Calgary wins in Edmonton.
Edmonton wins at Calgary.
See?
That's really what it should be.
It just completes the cycle.
I do like this idea. Now, one of the biggest things that kind of came up through the game, and I just want to get this out of the way, was the field conditions.
Yep.
Obviously, not great
They were
field conditions.
atrocious.
And I don't know exactly where that all falls down, where the field wasn't covered or protected or heated or whatever it had to be the day before.
Upkept, anyway.
Yeah, just so that it's ready to go for your championship game. So there is no doubt that was a bit of a negative feel for the entire thing. Doesn't, of course, take away from the amazing Grey Cup Festival, but it does put a little bit of a marker on that for the game. So I think that's really all we need to say about that. But
Something for Calgary for next year.
absolutely, and it's a learning curve for
Exactly.
sure. I mean, the last time that we had a Grey Cup, it wasn't the same turf, so
It was freezing, too.
and it was absolutely freezing, so it was going to be bad anyway. So
Because that was real grass, right? Before?
No, it was 2002 was the real grass.
yes,
Oh,
but
okay.
2010 it was field turf, but it was a different field
Field
turf than
turf,
what
okay.
this is. So
Because they changed it for FIFA, right? If I'm not mistaken.
correct. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Now the good part of the game, that was probably the best Westivus
Yes.
we have
Oh
ever
my
had.
goodness.
So much fun.
Oh my god! I think did we have every color? I think we were only missing Ottawa, but I think at one point we had every color.
Right, because I thought that, Dusty Foot Dre was supposed to come at one point, but
Right,
didn't.
couldn't,
But
and
that
Janine
would've
couldn't
covered-
make it across.
Right.
So, which I mean, I can understand. It was pretty
Argos?
packed.
Do we have an Argos?
No, we didn't have Argos.
Oh, we didn't have an
No
Argos
Argos,
either.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, I mean, we had basically every
Yeah.
team represented.
All the
we
West,
had
at
what,
least.
6 podcasts?
Yeah.
I believe there at one time. Like that's just amazing.
Insane. So
It's
cool.
So awesome.
So cool.
Thank you to
Shoot
everyone
for
who came
7 or 8
Westivus.
next year.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. It was awesome. And I love the sign, and that was
Yeah.
that's really good.
That
Here's
was
where
5 minutes
Westivus
before we
is.
left. I was like,
I think we need that next year. This is where Westivus is. You could just follow the big sign. That's right.
Like at the airport, the guy holding the sign.
That's I like
Westivus.
Westivus.
Calling so-and-so.
We could just bring that Westivus sign to everywhere. Like
Yep.
at the meetup, we have Westivus in the corner. I think this is a good idea.
I'll
this
make
idea.
a new one because I definitely left that one there.
All right, we
We're
can.
going to run with it.
I think this is a great idea.
There's going to be glitter.
Absolutely. Oh,
Just saying.
as long as it's not in this room, I'm fine with it. Okay, let's talk
Feels
about
bad.
all of the fun stuff from Grey Cup. We'll start. So Wednesday night, I went to the meet and greet.
Yes.
I took Ty there and then brought a very, very drunk Brazilian Ty back to my house to sleep, but was a blast. It was
Right.
really good. The trading cards started to come out, and a few people got their first cards. We got to, I spent a fair amount of the night chatting with Josh from Podski Wee Wee because that's the first time I had
Fantastic.
met him.
Yep.
And Mike Graham and Brian from BC Lions Den, and of course Ty and Alex and Amy, and then our regular crew, Tree and Angie and
Yep.
Linda. And then of course Connie was there as well. So Connie and
Nice.
Buzz.
I missed her the
got
whole
to-
friggin'
got to
Grey Cup.
see them again too. So it was really, really good time. Some of us had more fun than others, but it was a lot of fun. And
Some had more fun
7-Eleven
the next
trip
morning.
at 11 o'clock was really fun. But we'll just leave that right there. So now Thursday is when we all kind of got to do
Sure.
some more stuff. So you and I met up downtown. We set up the table outside the spirit room.
Right.
And then went to the CFLPA
Headquarters.
headquarters that they had there.
Yeah, at Revel. I had a great time. That was where they did the announcement for the CFLPA All-Stars.
Yes. And we had 3 Eskimos, I believe.
Yeah, there were 3 Eskimos in there with Mondo and, of course, Aaron Grimes.
Yes.
Made it on the defensive side of things, and then Daquille Williams was the offense.
Absolutely.
I was a little surprised Darrell Walker didn't make it, but with the injury, that's, I guess, not too surprising.
Yeah, and they were going league-wide for, it wasn't East and West, right? It was
Right.
league-wide.
Yeah, so that was great. Of course, we all think that Mike Riley should have been the quarterback.
Of course. Of course.
But
holy mazzoli. Yeah.
holy mazzoli, did make it. So
It's fun when they announce it, too.
it's very cool. I mean, you see the poster itself is the trading cards they are going to make.
Yes.
Apparently, they copied our idea and started making trading cards.
Well, geez.
So, you know, you
look
actually
very
got to see
similar,
it,
too.
and they totally do. They totally ripped us off.
Absolutely.
And then seeing Aaron Grimes' card, that just
Oh.
made me howl. The
Yeah.
look on his face when he's lying on his back trying to catch that interception.
Yeah.
And just seeing the players there, signing cards. We saw Mondo and we saw J.C. Sherritt.
Yep.
Were there from the Eskimos. There were some players from other teams as well. Odell Willis.
Yep.
Now representing the Lions was there. But
Yeah.
again, just talking with people,
I had
hanging
a
out.
great chat with Bear Woods.
Nice.
What a great dude.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Really?
He was fantastic. Yeah. Very. And I know I've heard him on Piffles, and he was great there.
Did
but
he give you hair tips?
He's
or-
just, no.
Okay.
Because I have none. But he is just, yeah.
He
What
has
a great
something to
dude.
spare. I'm just
I'm
saying.
sure he does. Yeah. No, he's awesome. I would totally talk to him more. He was fantastic.
Nice. And of course, a lot of CFLPA people were there as well.
Yes, yeah. So we did get to talk to Rammer for a bit.
Yep.
We're looking at booking him back on to talk a little CFLPA here before too terribly
Great
long,
stuff.
as we get closer to the CBA. So
Yeah.
so that was really good. And then of course we went to 2 and Out Live.
Yes.
What a blast! What a blast!
I was so looking forward to that. It's one thing I just didn't want to miss. For those people that didn't get to go, the Tune Out podcast did a live podcast there. Every team was represented in the audience.
Yep.
There were Argo fans, of course, Janine from the Mouchoir podcast and Ryan from the CFL Horsemen.
Yep.
Got up and talked a bit. There was a pierogi eating contest where Travis faced off against a defensive lineman, formerly of Ottawa, now in Saskatchewan.
like with just milliseconds, he won.
Yeah, I basically
Like,
won pierogi.
Yeah, that was crazy. 18 pierogies.
Yeah.
What
in
was it?
under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes. You know, I just say that and I want to barf.
Yeah.
Holy
Well, to
man.
be fair, Travis has done it before, just never against such stiff competition.
So I guess
I mean,
true.
you've got a defensive lineman who's Ukrainian living in Saskatchewan. I mean, come on, that's pretty tough odds to beat. But, you know, I knew Travis would not be denied, and sure enough, he rewarded us all.
Yes, yeah. It was really fun, even just the interaction, like, you know, talking back with them on the stage and
Yep.
and being able, as they're recording it, I thought that was really fun.
Got to
Like,
see all the back of your heads. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
did you?
The Periscope.
Oh, are they running? I didn't realize. Oh, okay,
yeah, they ran the Periscope.
I know Nicole watched later the video and she's like, whoever did the announcing for the pierogi contest
be
was
Ryan.
fantastic. I'm like,
Ryan,
that would be
yeah.
Ryan. Yeah, he did very good job on that. But that was a blast. I was sorry I couldn't stay for the whole thing, but
Yeah.
it was really good. What would you guys think of us doing a live one at some point?
Oh, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I
think
love that space.
The energy is great.
Yes.
And
It's a really nice
I mean,
place.
obviously, we love doing the podcast in the Turf District, but getting that sort of interaction from people, having a great
Awesome.
time, and everyone seemed to have a really good time in that room. It was just seemed like a lot of fun, and under the right circumstances, I think it would be a big hit.
Yeah,
Then it can be more expressive.
you
That's right.
really could. Yeah, you can. Yeah, people be able to see.
they would
when
get
you-
it.
Some of the faces you make, they'd be like, "Oh,
I don't know if they would allow glitter, just so that you know. I know, a sad face.
See?
I don't see
That
it
would
written
never-
anywhere."
That would have got a laugh. That was very good. Now I went right after that to the Calgary Grey Cup Committee had a VIP party,
Right.
and I went there, so I got to see the horse coming into the hotel.
Nice.
Did
But
it poop?
no, not that I saw.
Did you?
No,
Good.
but I did have cider, which was unreal. Oh, it was really good. Yeah, probably very tasty.
What kind of cider is that?
I don't know. It's just called cider of some kind. It was tasty though.
Oh, we need to speak to our people.
We
Yeah.
do. So I
Sponsor
spent
this.
most of the night hanging out with Connie, Bo, Ryan, and Dan from the Horsemen.
Oh, nice, Coach Dan.
And we had some great laughs, and it was very, very fun. And then I got screeched in afterwards, which was fantastic.
Yeah, I missed out on that.
And I mean, Connie's awesome.
That wasn't a real fish, obviously, right?
No, it wasn't
Stuffed,
a fake one,
yeah.
but it was fine. That was a ton of fun. And then, of course, we got to the spirit room. So
we got to do Reed Wilkins for a quick tick.
Oh, yes. You
That
and
was
I went
fun.
on with Reed Wilkins.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. And who was on in front of us?
Oh, this guy named Mookie and this other guy named Damon. I don't know.
It's
if
like
you've heard of
nobody's.
them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Weak act to follow.
Reed's like, you're only going to have like 3 minutes. That's fine. Whatever. I don't care if we are following them. That was good. Yeah. So that was awesome. We got to do that. And then we headed over to the spirit room. You talked about it on the Periscope, Damon Allen sitting at our table.
Crazy.
I talked about, meeting Matt Dunnigan. I had a great conversation that night with Brock Sunderland too.
Yes, you did.
And I mean, he's just such a great dude. He's awesome to talk with. So I'm really hoping, I did ask again, Brock, beers in my basement talking football. That's all I want to do. He's like, okay, we'll see if
We'll
we can
play
figure it
reggae.
out. That's absolutely happy to
I
do
wonder
it.
if we could get a reggae version of the podcast theme. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, I will look it up.
Live reggae band. Even
Oh.
more incentive.
In here?
In here.
That
There's
would-
a little corner.
Some steel drums, maybe?
Yeah. We'll make it
More
happen.
Caribbean.
I like this idea. Yeah. So anyway, fantastic night on that one. Now Friday. Now we already talked a little bit about the Legends lunch.
Yes.
Who was the one that really kind of was your moment?
Oh, I don't know. There's just so many people there that I just couldn't wait. Dave Cutler, I got a chance to talk to him. Tommy Scott is someone that I haven't seen since. I mean, we traded him to Calgary in '84 for some guy named Dan Bass. I wanted a picture of the two of them side by side.
That would have been awesome.
Fantastic, but I didn't get a chance. I didn't actually see Dan Bass there, but I was told he was there.
Yeah, I didn't see him either.
I don't know. I don't know if I could pick a single person. Got to meet Gizmo, which is
awesome.
Not the first time, but just so
Yeah,
amazing.
he is jacked. Yes.
So jacked.
Oh yeah, he looks like he can play.
Yeah.
So did Tommy Towns. Tommy Towns looks like he can play, and he's got to be in his 60s.
Yeah, he looked awesome. Yeah, I had a good chat with Dave Cutler. I'm only allowed to call him Dave. I'm not allowed to call him Mr. Cutler because
That's his dad.
He gets upset about that. So, and I got my football signed by Lemmerman, Wilkinson, Dunnigan, and Ricky Ray.
Ricky Ray, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a really cool moment too to actually talk with Ricky.
Yeah.
Now here's a funny story, and everyone will laugh about this because I met Ricky Ray outside of the room and said, "Hey, we have this podcast. We're wondering if you would ever like to talk. I know you're Argos right now, but just talk about your time with the Eskimos." And he said, "Yeah, sure. Do you have a card?" And I'm like, "Not a business card, but I have a trading card." And I wrote my email address on the back of the trading card and handed it to Ricky Ray.
There you go.
And that is what he saw.
That
That's
is
got to be the
amazing.
first time that anyone's
That
ever given
photo.
Ricky Ray a trading card.
And I'm sure he'll email.
Oh, yes.
Especially with the picture on the front of that. That'd be
And
perfect.
these stats, though.
Could you imagine if that ever happened?
Absolutely.
I might fall over. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Warren Moon calling you.
That was that was pretty awesome. But that was awesome. I loved the Legends lunch. Everything about it was fantastic. Ended up going to the gala on the Friday night.
Right.
And that was crazy fun. Alan Doyle was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Really good table sitting with Jeremy and his wife Christy and
Nice.
and his dad Paul, and we were all visiting, and it was really, really fun. And of course, Kinger there wins the David Boone Award from the Eskimos for his community work.
Yes.
Right after winning the Tom Pate the night before, which is of course the second year in a row an Eskimo has won that after a Darius Bowman. So
Right.
that was really, really
Neil
cool.
or Ryan?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Oh, I thought you said Neil.
Did I say Neil? I'm pretty sure I said Ryan.
Oh, I said
I think
Neil.
I just said Kinger.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Kinger to me is Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Straight up.
I think I was
All
thinking
right.
of the Eskimos commercial. It's like Neil King's in my head.
Okay, that could be it. Yeah. Now Saturday morning, Spirit of Edmonton breakfast.
That was a great time. My first time in 8 years.
Wow. Okay.
So just a good time. Again, lots of first timers at that table.
Yeah.
Travis had never been before. Chantel had never been before. Kayla had never been before to the Spirit breakfast.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice to see these people getting, they don't get screeched in, but they get sluiced in.
Sluiced in. Yeah, exactly.
It's a great time. A lot of people complain it's like so expensive to go, but by the time we had our sixth, seventh pitcher of sluice shoes at the table.
You got more sluice than we did. I don't think that's right. But anyway.
Well, that's because we tweeted it out. Well, Chantel tweeted it out saying, hey, table 187.
Ta-da!
A little sluice over here.
That's very nice.
It worked.
What did you think for your first experience?
Well, can I go back to Friday?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So I went to the Fan State of the League where I got to meet Brody Lawson.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was thought that happened at the meetup, but okay,
no,
so
that was that.
And?
That was that. Well, first off, I again went by myself. 'Cause that's just how CFL is. Like, you can just go and sit and then be like, oh, I'm so happy. But I actually sat with Taylor and Travis.
Nice.
So, and then afterward, everyone was getting up, and then you see like, oh, there's Ty, oh, there's Dylan, oh, there's so and so, and then I saw Chris ex-Pagger, who I actually had met previously on Thursday night, and I was just standing there, and he's like, "Are you Duchess Lombardi?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Holy crap, like you're one of the people I wanted to meet," whatever. So he was a really nice guy, super friendly, took me under his wing actually for this weekend, but that's more on Friday. So back to Friday, got to meet Brody. Like, I just saw her and V-lined it. I'm like, this is my dream coming true. And she is like so beautiful in every way.
Just so
genuine, sweet, gorgeous, loves the CFL. It's like just a great example of what women are becoming in this league, and the importance of, both male and female roles in this league. So hashtag diversity is strength, which I actually wore that shirt to there.
Perfect.
So that was cool. And
awesome.
then got to meet Janine.
Yes.
For the first time there, she and her husband. Yeah, that's the only time I actually saw them, but finally got to see them. And then again, Chris took me under his wing. We walked through the festival. He took me to the St. Peter's breakfast, which was actually so fun, and they were so nice and like really excited about next year. And one guy, like Chris, told him it was my first time, and then he was like, they were throwing out balls and I didn't get one. So then I ran into Ed, actually.
Yeah.
He was on his lunch break, and then I get this tap on my back, and the Calgary guy is like, go long, and like chucks the ball at me. And like, it was just, it was so much fun. And Friday, I think I went back to the Spirit, but not for very long. I don't know what else. Did I meet you on Friday?
I don't think so, because I was kind of in and out, because we did the Legends lunch. We went back to the Spirit Room for a very short time, and then I had to book it home to get ready for
I know what I did. I was going to take a nap, and then I went to I went to the S store to go get a toque, and they actually had the CFL, NFL flag football for kids.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually stuck around and watched that, and that was fun.
That's fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I was like, I get so sidetracked. Like, seriously. So I went home, and I'm like, for an hour, I'm like, there's no time to actually nap at all, because I have to go for dinner, and then went back to the Spirit. But for the breakfast, it was cool. It was really cool. Like, it was very overwhelming. There's so many people, and you just like, for me, I wanted to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
So I just like wanted to make friends with everyone. But it was really cool how they arranged it. I really liked the Riders pep band, and then how they had the Eskimos drumline with the pep band.
That was cool.
Pep band, is that what it was?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then they had the Ukrainian dancers and like the Cirque du Soleil. I don't know if it was actually Cirque du Soleil, or she was just like the.
It's just part
What
of
are they
it's
called?
it's a local thing. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, I don't. The ribbons,
But they
and
do different circus acts. Yeah,
very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then they had the different also magic acts, I guess you would call fire acts.
Yeah,
whatever.
the fire act was really cool.
Yeah, just like kind of ridiculously awesome and super. What is the word I'm looking for? Random.
Oh,
What did you? Super duper. That would have been better.
that's a good word.
Yeah,
a good one.
Yeah,
Well, that was well played, Superfan. Super duper.
duper. But
Could be
there's
that.
a lot of sociables. I underestimated how.
There would have been more if they could have got the sluice juice out more.
Yes.
Oh no, they kept going even without it. It was
No, I mean
still
earlier.
like earlier,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's a lot of fun with that.
I feel like every minute I was like, I can see how people get wasted.
Yeah, I was sitting at the table with Kayla, and Ryan from Horseman was there.
Yes.
And he and Travis Kerr both decided, we're only going to do every fifth sociable. That's it. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why it's fun.
Right.
Every time.
Oh, and do you see those people that at our table that actually brought extra liquor and were putting them in there?
Oh, God.
Oh, man. I wonder
do
how
you
that turned out.
Yeah, probably not well, I would guess.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, that was the part of the Saturday breakfast, and then in the evening, now we all ended up at the meetup.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I need to thank Christina Litz for that, because I ran into her after the breakfast and said, "Oh, actually, I didn't end up getting a ticket." And she's like, "Yes, you're coming." Okay, so thank you very much to her, and it was really cool. I was sorry I couldn't stay for the whole thing. I love the
pretty
meetup.
fun.
Yeah.
But we had already got the tickets to the concert series. So, but again, you just it's everyone that you know on Twitter in one space.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
It's just, I mean, I went in 2010, which was the second one.
Right.
And it was just in Brewster's Pub, just
Right.
along 104th there. And there was maybe 25, 30 people at that one.
Yeah.
And just to see how it's grown, Jamie Stein was with the CFL at the time, and he started organizing that in 2009, 2010, 2011.
Okay.
And it's been growing every year and every year. And it's sort of that one of those places where everyone wants to be, and they can only fit so many people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I didn't have an invite. So I had my friend Jen Annis couldn't make it, so she gave me her invite, and then Chad Nubian got Chantel in, so we were able to at least both go to this thing.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. Lots of fun. They usually give away tons of great prizes.
Yeah.
You get to see everybody. I mean,
And some players, and it was
the
fantastic.
rec laws were there.
Yes. Well, and the big thing, honestly, for me, I got to meet Brody's mom.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's a
And
gem.
she was amazing, amazing to talk to. And she was telling us about a women in football thing that they were at that afternoon that was run actually by David Beard's wife. So
Yeah.
Nice.
We're hoping we can try and get in touch with her to talk a bit more about that. But it was, it was fantastic. It was really, really cool to have that. So, well, that was, I mean, the week was awesome.
What about me?
What about
Am
you?
I allowed to talk
Sure.
about the meetup?
We're done.
God.
Go ahead.
We're done.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
Again, thanks to Chris, because I also didn't have a meetup or a ticket, so he actually got me in again. So, man, that guy made my weekend complete. So, props to him. He deserves a reward. But yeah, like Mike said, it was really cool to have everyone in a room and actually getting to talk to people that I never really got to at the Spirit of Edmonton, because you're just like going from group to group trying to meet as many people. So it was nice to actually, really have a conversation more so with Josh and Joe and then Brian from BC Lions Den, and actually getting to chit chat about football as a whole and like more about the league coming in, the new league down south and the NFL and all that stuff. And it's funny because everyone was in the other room. And I swear, I just stayed at the one table where you got to, you introduced me to Brody's mom, and we had a good 30 to 45 minute conversation. And then I had to stay there because people kept they walk by and then they stop there. And so I'm just like, I didn't have to move. Like, people just were conversing.
They come to the
in
Duchess.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, no, it was just they had to see me as they passed, so they so kindly said
Kiss the
hello.
ring.
Don't give me ideas, Mike.
I do like this idea. Yeah.
But it was so
Not as much as the rest of his sign, but close. Yeah.
well. I mean,
Nice.
Big W. No, it used to be E's.
Yeah, ease. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everyone went into the other room to see hear the rec laws. I didn't actually know that they were there because I was just super excited. But got to chit chat more with Chad and Matt Pretty outside, and it wasn't so claustrophobic, but it was still awesome because you hear they're singing in the background, and it was just super football-y.
The Grey Cup was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just Canada barfed in that room, and it was amazing.
Canada barfs. There's a new bumper sticker.
It was great. It was
I
great.
did
And if
not-
anyone knows who this guy who was wearing a denim shirt, not the Reckless guy, this guy had really dark hair and scruff, and he was talking to the other, I think, bassist or guitarist from the Reckless pretty much all night. He was gorgeous. If anyone knows who he is, let me know. Just saying.
Good to put the plug out there.
There's
No,
the meetup.
because
There's the meetup.
usually I don't care, but this guy was so
She cares.
I very much care. I blushed hard. And he was carrying a Saints Bud Light beer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's destiny.
All right.
Not that he chose it, but
You are my density.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
you guys,
Oh,
God,
my.
help a girl out. Help a sister out.
Of course. Absolutely. We'll try and help you out.
It was fun, though. Thanks, Chris.
Awesome. Well, I think we all had a very good time at Grey Cup. All right, well, let's take a really quick break, and then we'll come back with our Esks history moment and lots of free agents to talk about.
Just a couple.
This is Brian Ramsey, Executive Director for the Canadian Football League Players Association, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
The Eskimo Empire Podcast is brought to you by United Construction Company. As a full-service commercial general contractor, United Construction Company serves large and small-scale commercial, light industrial, and multifamily residential construction projects across Western Canada. UCC is a relationship-focused builder, forming a trust and respect that is at the forefront of their commitment to quality, value, and integrity. Visit their website at unitedconstruction.ca to find out more and support them as they support the Empire.
Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my pics on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. All right, welcome back. It is time should we say inspired by the Legends Lunch?
Yes.
It is time to go back again to our Eskimo history moment.
Let's hear you cheer and holler for a mighty famous team. Let's hear you roar, you know what, for a team that's on repeat. Our voices rise up to the skies, the fans are glad to scream. We love those Eskimos.
With the amazing hot stove at the recent CFL Alumni Association's Legends Luncheon, we'd like to take a look back at what most people would consider the most popular position on the field in Canadian football, the quarterback. Edmonton's been blessed over the years with some of the most prolific players who lined up behind center over the years, even being known as the CFL's QB factory for a period, as so many pivots who had success in the CFL got their Canadian start in green and gold. In fact, at the start of the 2002 season, for example, 7 of the top 9 passers in the league were former Eskimo quarterbacks.
Oh, holy cow.
While there have been ups and downs over the years, we can definitely look back now and celebrate the many men who have thrilled the Edmonton faithful for 70 years. So going back, the Eskimos rejoined professional Canadian football in 1949 after a 10-year absence, and they were led by head coach Anis Big Stook Stukas, who was a former QB himself, who had been a successful ball player in his own right from the mid-30s with the Toronto Argos through the war years with various Toronto teams. Stook transitioned into a full-time sports writing after both playing and writing for the Toronto Star during his career, but he was coaxed out of retirement to coach Edmonton's new entry into the Union. While he was done as a player, he did bring a quarterback from his playing days in Toronto that he was very familiar with, his younger brother Bill Stukas, known to everyone as Little Stook, who would be the first quarterback in the Green and Gold's history. The elder Stukas was a product of the 1930s and insisted on running the single wing formation, which had won the Argos their Grey Cups in the late 30s, so he needed a leader who could run that offense. Unfortunately, the league had kind of progressed to more modern T offense, which is the precursor to what we see teams line up today. So after seeing limited success in the inaugural season, Big Stook, ever the salesman, convinced an All-American named Lindy Berry to come up to Canada from Texas and install this new offense, and the move paid dividends, as Edmonton led the Western Union in passing and earned Berry the Jeff Nicklin Trophy as the West's top player, so the first Eskimo to ever earn that honor. Edmonton finished with a much improved record as a sophomore team and won their first ever playoff game, going to the West Finals in their second year. With injuries wearing on Berry in his second year, Coach Stukas struck gold again, convincing star quarterback Frank Filchok the NFL and CFL star quarterback of the 1940s, to move east from Montreal to join the team. Flingin' Frankie was one of the last of the old-school players. He would literally draw up his plays in the dirt in the huddle, but he could dissect a defense with his passing precision. Stuke knew he would be needing a replacement head coach after he planned to step down after that year, so he sold Phil Chalk on the team, saying he would be moved to the head coach position after that year. Phil Chalk didn't waste time and signed Oklahoma Sooner quarterback Claude Arnold and promptly took the team to their first Grey Cup in its 4-year history. Phil Chalk left after the 52 season and jumped to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Oh, wow.
But Claude Arnold had connections to his former teammates and also quarterback from Oklahoma, Darrell Royal, and Royal became the third coach in Eskimos history. Royal took the T offense and introduced the split T, where the offensive linemen actually will split apart from each other. They used to be shoulder to shoulder, so it would be all compressed.
Yep.
And so they were split out to sort of spread that ball out. So he and Claude Arnold both had run successfully under the famed Sooner head coach Bud Wilkinson, and it set the league on fire for the 53 season as they finished in first place for the first time. Royal left after his only season in Canadian football, but offered up as he left the name of his star quarterback who had successfully run the split T for him when he was the backfield coach at Mississippi State, Jackie Parker.
Yes.
So 1954 was, of course, a huge year in Eskimos history. Both Parker and NCAA national champ Bernie Filoni initially split duties, but after Filoni left after the first year, Parker was the superstar quarterback for the Eskimos, splitting time later with Canadian Don Getty starting in 1955 until the end of his time in Edmonton. Edmonton played more of a ball control offense that featured a devastating rushing attack where the QB ran almost as often as he threw the ball, whereas Getty was more of a pure passer, which provided a 1-2 punch that allowed them to continue to win the Grey Cup in 56 and contend every year for the remainder of the decade. By the dawn of the 1960s, the league had transitioned more and more into a passing league, and the Eskimos had aged to the point where they felt they needed to do something to modernize, but did the unthinkable. They traded Jackie Parker to Toronto for 5 players and some much-needed cash. Unfortunately, the rest of the 1960s featured a revolving door of quarterbacks in the effort to find the next Jackie Parker. Names like James Earl Wright, Lynn Amedee, John Anabo, Bill Riddell, Heisman Trophy winner Terry Baker in 1 year, Frank Cosentino, Charlie Fulton, and Corey Kohlauer came and went as the Esks still struggled to find that one player who would be able to spark the offense. But again and again, Edmonton's only real offense was a running back named Jim Long Gone Thomas, and aside from the occasional game here and there, ended off the decade still searching for that leader on offense. The 1970s started off with more of the same. College football's top passer 2 years in a row, and Houston Oilers star Don Truel came to the Eskimos in 1970 and seemed to move the dial as the Eskimos finished with only their second winning season since the Parker trade. But 1971 saw the wheels fall off, and Edmonton plunged back into the basement with a 1-10 record as September was drawing to a close, and Truel was dumped for yet another NFL airlift player, this time from the Atlanta Falcons. This new pivot, the 22nd quarterback to play for the team since Parker was traded, finally found the magic as he finished the 1971 season with 5 straight wins to give hope to a weary fan base that maybe, just maybe, they had found their man, Bruce Lemmerman. Football in the 1970s was a rough and tumble affair, to say the least, and players were subject to a virtual assault and battery every game. So in 1972, Eskimos coach Ray Yauch brought in a backup quarterback with 5 years CFL experience, Tom Wilkinson. The Lemmerman and Wilkinson duo ushered in a new golden era for Eskimos football, and Edmonton entered the decade of excellence as the team made the Grey Cup 9 times in a 10-year span between 1973 and 82. When Lemmerman neared the end of his career, second-year head coach Hugh Campbell brought in the Rose Bowl MVP who, based only on the color of his skin, was not offered a single quarterback contract in the NFL, Warren Moon, who worked in tandem with Wilkie to continue the reign of terror against all other clubs in the league, winning 5 Grey Cups in a row. The 1983 season was to be Moon's last year, as the NFL could no longer ignore his successes and he would be going to the Houston Oilers in 1984. However, Moon's backup in his last year proved to be up to the challenge, as Matt Dunnigan led the Eskimos to inspire the phrase that Edmonton didn't rebuild, they simply reloaded. Dunnigan's backup in his second year as starter was a skinny kid who was known more for being the younger brother of Raiders all-star rusher Marcus Allen than his football prowess. But Damon Allen proved to be every bit as good as his brother and played 23 years, setting virtually every professional football record in CFL history. 1987 was Dunnigan's last year, but a young third-string quarterback would get a chance to move up the chart the following year as Edmonton's reload continued. Tracy Ham got to play more in 1988 and was so effective that Edmonton felt they could let Allen leave and install him as the quarterback for 1989, which proved to be a wise decision, netting Ham the most outstanding player award as Edmonton finished the season with a 16-2 record, the only team to record 16 wins in a season.
And the only year they canceled the Grey Cup.
That's true. They didn't have it.
Yeah.
The following years saw Edmonton's record fluctuate, but never finish out of the top two, and as Edmonton facilitated one of the largest single trades in CFL history with an 8-for-8 swap that sent Ham and 7 teammates to Toronto for 8 players, including quarterback Ricky Foggy. Not content with leaving things as is, Edmonton also sent 3 players to Hamilton to reacquire Damon Allen 2 weeks after the Ham trade and rolled on to their 11th Grey Cup win. Edmonton finally saw their run of QB dominance come to an end in 1995.
That they did.
When Kerwin Bell and Chris Vargas split time behind center. But 1 year later in 1996, Danny McManus joined the team and took them back to the Grey Cup in his first year, which they should have won.
Yes.
The late 1990s saw again a string of quarterbacks come and go. Marcus Crandall, David Archer, Dan Crowley, and Nealon Green, among others, until a young player out of Oregon joined the team in 2000 named Jason Moss. After biding his time behind Green for his first 2 seasons, Moss was poised to take the Eskimos back to glory, but after injuries to him and backup Bart Hendricks, the quarterback who started training camp that year as the 4th stringer was thrust into the spotlight. Nobody knew then that former Doritos truck driver Ricky Ray would become the leading passer in Eskimos history and set records that still have not been equaled. Ray and Moss split time for the 2002 and 2003 seasons as the team captured its first Grey Cup in a decade, followed by another in 2005, where Moss would come off the bench to lead the team to wins in the West Semi-Final and West Final, while Ray captured MOP honors in the 93rd Grey Cup. Ray continued to lead the Eskimos until again, the unthinkable happened, and a star Eskimos quarterback was again traded to Toronto at the end of the 2011 season. An uneven season followed as the Eskimos finished 4th, before general manager Ed Hervey took a calculated gamble in early 2013, trading essentially a second-round draft pick the following year for the rights to Mike Riley, who would become a free agent 2 weeks later. Hervey's gamble paid off, and Riley was signed shortly after. 2013 was a transitional year, but by 2014, Edmonton again served notice that was a force to be reckoned with, and Riley showed the world he was more than worthy of living up to the Eskimos' QB legacy, winning the 2015 Grey Cup and the 2017 Most Outstanding Player, the first Eskimo to do so since Tracy Ham in 1989, and only the 5th Eskimos quarterback to earn that title. After the 2018 season, the quarterback position is again in question, as Mike Riley is currently without a contract for the 2019 season. While Edmonton is no longer the QB factory of the CFL, the recent lineup of quarterback greats who attended the 2018 Legends Luncheon during the Grey Cup week this year in Edmonton showed the world just how amazing the lineage is at the most important position on the field. And with former star QB Jason Moss leading the offense, we will always believe that the ball will be soaring down the field for years to come in Edmonton.
Going for a touchdown. Going for a touchdown. Going for a touchdown. We love those Eskimos.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I'm going to shed a tear as you say that.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike. Stay here.
I am.
Meant, yeah, other Mike. You know.
I mean, you can say 2, but...
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that you're here. Don't get me wrong.
Well, you know.
Yeah, okay. We better take some time to talk about business season. Because as you say that...
Business.
There is a lot going on. Last week, the list was released of free agents.
Just a couple.
Over 300 free agents across the league. I did like one of our fans that said it's like starting a new league at this point.
Well, it is. I mean, this is more free agents in a single year than has ever happened in the history of the league.
And what do we figure out? The average was like 36 per team? Like
last year was 24, so that's a 50% increase in free agents for every team.
That is ridiculous.
I see so many of my favorites. That's not fair.
Now I kind of wanted to go across because I thought, I know the Eskimos have a whole bunch of guys on
just
the list,
a couple.
but I mean, let's just put this in perspective. There are 15 quarterbacks that are free agents. I picked one player from each team: B.J. Cunningham, John Gott, Bear Woods, Brandon Banks, Adam Bighill, Willie Jefferson, Alex Singleton, Brian Burnham are all from the other teams, and we'll go over our own. All stars from their own teams. Now, a lot of them I think will re-sign once the CBA gets done.
Yeah, I don't think Singleton is.
But Singleton, I know there are going to be some that are going to be going down and looking
down
at NFL opportunities.
Oh,
absolutely. So I'm hoping we can end up talking more with the CFLPA about how this is all going to go down. I hope they get to these talks soon, so that by the time free agency rolls around in February 12th to be exact, that we hopefully have something in place, or something at least close to in place, so that we're looking at, where all these guys are going to sign. This is going to be ridiculous.
Well, I think the thing that bothers me is the CFLP, the actual contract expires in May.
Right. That does become a problem, yes.
That's a problem. I'd love to see them move that up for the next one,
yes,
so that it's going to expire maybe in January or something, so that I know that they're not going to talk about it a whole lot during the Grey Cup week and everything else. Of course not. Yeah. But it'll kind of force them to talk about it in September, October kind of thing, even early November.
And December after the Grey Cup's done.
Definitely December, so they can get this thing done, because this way we don't have 3 months of they can negotiate and they don't have to worry because the CBA hasn't expired yet.
Yeah, or even put it like at the end of January, so you get a little break after the Grey Cup, because it's been a long season. Everybody needs a break. We understand that.
Nope.
And then get to the talks and get this happening, right? I agree. I think that I would love to see that happen. So the Eskimos have 40 players on their free agency list. Now, 5 of those guys are already guys that have retired. So I thought we'd go through 3 quick questions. So other than Mike Riley, which we all know we want to be here, but is there... Just pick one name on there that is a guy that you think we must have.
Yes.
I'm going to start with you, Superfan, because I can already see that Kayla's having a small stroke.
Yeah, I actually looked at the list, and I marked off a couple on defense, couple on offense. But to me, if you had to pick one guy...
Yes.
I think that because we have
other than Mike Riley,
exactly. If you had to pick someone, because we are uncertain of who's going to be leading this team, I think you still need a real good stability and someone who's been around on offense. And while I was looking at thank goodness, we've actually only got 3 starters on offense signed for next year.
Oh, that's painful to hear.
2 offensive linemen, and that's probably what I would have gone is Matt O'Donnell, but he is signed, along with David Beard and CJ Gable. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, not only are the starters, but most of their backups. I don't think we have any receivers signed for next year.
0
So
right
I picked Darrell Walker.
All right, good pick.
I thought that's somebody that, again, he has stability. He's obviously an all-star. Duke Williams is going to be down in the NFL. At very least, he'll catch on with the team, because he wasn't not in the NFL because of his skill.
No, that's right.
It was extracurricular stuff. So they like his measurables. He's a big guy, which they love in the NFL.
Yep.
He went to a great school. So I think that we have to accept that. I'm not saying he's going to stick. Maybe he will, maybe he won't.
Yeah.
But at very least, he's going to be trying, and we're not going to see him at least till September. So Darrell Walker, who's already gone that route, we have to sign him, because we need somebody who, regardless who the quarterback is, knows that they have someone they can get the ball to.
I agree.
This is
Kayla,
so
I know
hard.
it's not an easy question. It's not an easy question. I understand that.
My heart is just like crying so painfully inside right now. Well, there's 2. I have to go defense and offense.
Okay.
I can't
That's
just
right.
point out
That's
one.
fair.
I
All right.
can't.
I'll
I'm
let it
sorry.
go.
There's not
I'll allow
happening.
it.
I know everyone expects me to pick Bryant, and obviously I want him to stay but I also don't honestly think that he will.
Okay, that's fair.
I've already said that before.
Yes.
I think he may get an NFL shot, and again, I would never want to stand in that kind of
Man,
play.
if he gets signed to the Saints, though, I would lose my mind.
How about the Vikings? That'd be fun.
Nope. Bye.
I was thinking the Rams.
But
He's
then he'd
an
be with
LA
his
boy.
brother Brandon. Maybe that's
I'm hoping
his
Brandon
in.
will come back.
Maybe that's his in.
How long is his contract? Was it a year?
Well, they're not guaranteed, so it really could be
Vikings?
Yeah, no NFL contracts are guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Oh, I
so,
actually
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
Like the
learned
CFL.
2 things today now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, since the Vikings suck so bad this year,
They do not.
they suck bad.
No, they don't.
Maybe not
All
so
they need is a
bad.
quarterback.
But I'm just saying, maybe that'll give, like, I know probably Brandon doesn't want to hear that, but I'm like, come back. Come back. Anyway, okay, back to the point.
Yes.
I actually would have to agree with you, Mike. I would probably do the same with Darrell Walker. Just like you said, to have that stability, but also to have almost that star signed again. And I think that's where the CFL kind of wants to go. They talked about that, having a few players that stick to a team more than a year to have that sense of superstardom in each team. And I think for us, that is Mike Riley. And obviously, maybe 1 or 2 fans that I've maybe heard of that don't want him back, possibly, but that it's so rare. Like I don't think.
Don't want him back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know people that might be like, listen, he's gone, but I don't think I've talked to anyone that says, good, get rid of him.
No, me either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was on the first go. We'll talk later.
Okay.
But yeah, I would have to say Darrell because he's an Eskimo.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He feels like the Eskimo. He fits that mold. He is just a trustworthy. He's there when you need him to be. And yes, he's had his problems with catching balls and stuff. But I mean, who hasn't really? Let's be honest. But,
No, we've all had some issues this year. Yeah.
exactly. And I would have to say, I love Unite. I really hope you stay, but for the defense, I really want to see Kwaku come back.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
he can be that guy that grows from Mondo, and we have Mondo, but I think he's the kind of guy that to go under Mondo's wing and really learn from him and really kind of build up that defensive line, possibly when Mondo is gone, and to have someone who is just going to continue to get better and continue to learn and get bigger and be a beast that we need on that defensive end.
And he's a ratio breaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And yeah, that he's a Canadian, like
Yeah.
amazing, right? So
That's why we need to do a live podcast.
We really do. Yeah.
moments like that
Moments
exact
like that.
right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Exactly.
So yeah.
Okay, no, that's good. I would agree with both of you on both of those. Kwaku was going to be my
I
pick,
had
so
Kwaku on my list.
Yeah,
would
I kinda
100%
figured
agree
it
with
was-
you.
yeah, unanimous.
He would be my top. We have to sign like that. If I have a choice, but beyond Mike, that would be my top one.
Yeah.
But my second one, and what I would go, I guess, back to, going along the same spot is Jake Serezna. I think we need to get him back. I thought he had a monster year.
I think anyone beside Mondo tends to have a strong year because of the attention he gets.
Yeah.
So, not to take anything away from Serezna. I thought Serezna was excellent.
Yeah.
I just didn't put him as a must sign over someone like an Aaron Grimes.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
We need that stability in the secondary.
Yeah, all of our secondary's gone too.
Secondary.
Other than Neil King, we don't have anyone in the secondary coming back.
That's very true. Okay, all right. Well, I
So
can
many
go
names.
with that too. Yes. All right. So then, now on the second question is, who would you want to please make an effort to sign? We want to have them here. I'll start on this one, and although I think that I'm going to kind of steal your well, no, I won't. I know who I'm going to pick for this. I really hope that they sign Ryan King back.
Yeah.
Ryan King has been a leader on this team, and he's a leader in the community. He is winning all the community awards. He is an Edmontonian. He's a true Eskimo. I really want to see Ryan. I would like to see them put a little effort into getting Ryan King back.
I can't see them
here.
not doing
And plus,
it.
he's a friend of the show, so
You can't go wrong with that.
so Kinger. I'm going to go with Kinger on that. Superfan.
Yeah, see, this is where I put Jake Serezna. Is
Okay.
in that I would really like to see him sign because again, we're getting more stability. We had a lot of upheaval in the defensive line from 2017 to 2018. So getting some more of that stability. If we could get a Kwaku back, who was on my list for
he's a
sign.
must. Yeah.
Mondo obviously coming back, Bazzi is already signed. If you can get Serezna, I believe Moore is already signed as well. So if you
He's
can
not on the list, so I'm
right.
assuming
So
he
if
is,
you can have those guys kind of have that continuity on the line, because the game is won and lost in the trenches.
Yep.
Then that would be absolutely fantastic to have to have him there. But I only picked 2 for defense, so I figured I would definitely have my defensive line and my secondary.
Okay.
As much as I'd love to see some of these special teamers come back, guys like Kayla's already mentioned Ate Ajay.
Yeah.
He's got a motor on defense.
Yep.
And then guys like Corey Jones and Blair Smith.
Yes.
I mean, they back up, and they're, of course, with Blair Smith being a Canadian, they do back up JC and Konar, who are both signed. One of the few people that are signed.
Well, we still have Malumba Shimanga. He's still signed, so
absolutely.
that's a good thing. So we do have a backup there as far as the Blair Smith is concerned. But I know what you mean on special teams.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Kayla.
Well, I'm glad you guys are picking these guys because then I can kind of go off the rails a bit. But I would have to agree. Like, I think Nate is a really underrated player. He's definitely down in the trenches. He's the guy that does the behind the scenes work. Like, in the plays, the actor's always the one that gets all the benefits, and those are all like the star receivers and all that. But there's these guys that do battle, and some of those blocks that he did, just out, and some of those catches, outrageous.
Yep.
So I would definitely make an extra effort with him, and also obviously with Bryant, because I just can't take that again.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. But actually, I'm gonna go with a kind of a weird one.
Yes.
I really want to see Chris Edwards back.
Thank you.
Know,
That's second half of the season.
Well, you know what? I love stories where they come out and they just are blowing things left, right, and center, and then they learn, they progress, and they actually get better. And he impressed me, and I think he impressed his whole podcast, because I know, especially you, he was definitely a new young.
Yeah, well, not
becoming.
Quite,
he was on his way.
Close with his penalties, yes.
But he really grew. He really progressed. He was definitely a machine in the secondary, and we needed that. It was still quite holy at some times, but I'm really proud of how far he came and how integral.
Okay.
Nice.
Integral he came.
I was never going to guess that one.
No.
I know.
He became very integral to the secondary, and I really would like to see him back.
All right. That's a great one. I actually had that marked earlier, and then I didn't say it when the time came. So well done.
No, but
good crap. See, we got
right.
it all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
3 of us share one brain.
Yeah.
That's how. Yep, mostly. Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense that I only have a third when you guys aren't around. That totally makes sense.
That works out
well. All right. Any on there that you would say, thanks for being a good Esk and best of luck? Is there any on there that you would kind of say that to?
There's a couple. Samuel Jaguar has been on that list. I think that he didn't really do a whole lot in his time there. He was mostly a special teamer. Again, backing up, especially when we had to move to 2 non-imports on the receivers side of things. So it's nothing against him as a person or as a player. I just didn't see that we had to have this kind of guy back, and if he's gone, we're not going to be like, oh my God, what do we do? Another guy that sort of was in and out of the lineup is Pascal Louchard. Yeah. I think we did okay in that position. Without him, we had Tanner Green come in there, Christophe Normand. Before he got injured, we had Alexandre Dupuis and, of course, Calvin McCarty. I wonder if this is Calvin's farewell into the next phase of his careers. I don't want it to happen. Yeah. We never want the fan favorites to go away, but eventually, Father Time is undefeated. Yeah. And he's with like 12 years in the CFL. That's an amazing for most people that have a 2 or 3 year career.
Yeah, he told me he thinks he's got at least another year left.
Hey, That'd be great to see one more year win the Grey Cup with us again.
But for most of the guys I see on that are guys that didn't do a whole lot. Kevin Elliott is another guy that came in late. Yeah. That, if he goes, it's like, that's too bad, but we really didn't get that attached to him. Yeah,
it just depends on if whatever other receivers we have. Yeah, right. I agree. Anybody on there for you, Commissioner?
I actually have no idea who... I should put on my glasses. That's why I can't.
You don't know who it is because you can't read it. That's a good way to do that.
Really?
Really?
Don't know that one.
No.
Arnaud?
Oh, Gaston Nadon?
Gaston
Yeah.
Nadon.
He backed up Quaker.
Kwaku, yeah, because he's
That's
Canadian.
why I don't know who
From
he is.
Ottawa.
Quite cool.
Yeah.
Was amazing, and he was always on. So whatever.
No, Gaston Nadon was on.
He did all right.
Shh,
Yeah.
my story's fine.
Yes.
All right.
You know
Okay.
what?
All right. I
Ooh.
like that. Okay.
Never heard of him.
Just because I don't recognize his name, so
But he's French. You should like this.
You should.
oh
Yeah.
Do I like my own people?
Arnaud.
Was I supposed to?
Come on. All right.
Gaston Nadon.
Mine is a little bit different, and not in the fact that I want to see him go, but I think we're at the point of having to move on. Is Brandon Thompson? I love BT, and I love what he brings, and I would love to see him coaching a secondary. I think he's got that type of ability and that type of personality. I just don't want him to get hurt again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
much.
put a lot of things into. I don't want to put a lot of time and effort into, and then have him get hurt again, and try to put somebody in that can learn the system.
Yeah.
So, I think he'd be an amazing teacher, and I love him off the field. I just think we might be at that point of saying, "Hey, thanks for everything you did."
Right.
So that would be what I would probably go with. A quick reminder to everybody that they are having the return of Esks, the 12 days of Esks. So if you don't have your season tickets, make sure that you get them or renew them, because this is the way that you get entered in for some amazing prizes over the next little bit.
Oh, can you imagine that 1 minute?
The 1 minute in the
shopping
Esks store,
spree?
just whatever you can put on. I would have like 8 jerseys and 3 coats.
Oh, yeah, through each arm.
Like, it would just be like
Legs.
Oh, it would be
Christmas shopping done in 1 minute.
Absolutely,
For everybody.
It would be
I'm
like
so
60
selfish. I'm
seconds.
like, for me.
I would have so much stuff. It would be unreal. It'd be so good because I don't have nearly enough green and gold in my
Clearly.
house. Yeah, but that would be fantastic. The other thing is a reminder, of course, as you're listening to this coming Saturday, December the 8th, is the Eskimos Locker Room Sale. Lots of great deals. Usually, you see 40% off on all the merchandise,
especially this year. Because Adidas is going to be gone, and we're going to have a new provider.
Yeah,
they will
new
be
era.
trying to blow out the Adidas stuff.
So it might even be cheaper.
You never
But I would definitely recommend, if season ticket holders, you can get in at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Regular public open at noon.
Do you have to bring your card? Sorry.
I would definitely do that. Bring it with you.
Find it.
And but you can you can get in, have a look around, and of course for a lot of people, that's where you get all your game worn stuff,
Jerseys,
as well.
helmets.
Jerseys, gloves, shoes sometimes.
So last year I went down and I was there, I think about 6:30.
Yeah.
And I was fairly close to the front of the line, but nowhere near at nowhere at the front.
Yes.
But they didn't have the signature helmets, and I was told the rumor was that that's because the signature helmets are being sold this year.
Okay.
So if you wanted a signature helmet or jersey, this is the year to go, because they may not have them with New Era coming in next year.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely make sure that you head out to that, and hopefully we will be there. So we get to hang out. Always fun to have more hangout time with our Esks family.
No, it's true. Have either you been to the locker room?
Oh, yes, I've been a couple of times.
I met
it's
Herbie
awesome.
there for the first time.
Nice. Because a lot of people that don't know, there are 2 lineups. You can either go to the Game Worn side, where you go to the Esks store, or you go to the other side in the Jackie Parker room, and you can buy everything else at 40% off. So you have to make that decision. It's like Sophie's Choice.
Yeah.
Unless you're
well,
broke.
you can do both though. Like you can go to the Game Worn and then go into the Jackie Parker
can,
stuff.
but you've got to go to the back of the line.
You might have some might be sold out.
Yeah.
So
There was no line when I showed up.
Yeah. Well, that's if you come later. Yeah.
Yeah,
And usually
I did.
Dave and Morley are there, so that's good. We got to book
Players are
our
there.
end of season wrap up with
We need
those
to do
boys.
that. We need to do a farewell Westervis party at somewhere.
Yeah, something.
So much to do in the business. It's our business season.
It's our
too.
business season too. The West of Us party will likely happen in January because we need to have. I think we all need.
We need a good memory in January too.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a good memory in January would be nice. Yeah, we were like 5 days away when this happened.
I know.
Yeah, so we will find a good way to do that. Well, thanks you guys. I'm love that you guys are here and all the memories on Grey Cup.
Yep.
It just all comes back. It was so
and over
awesome.
the season too.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So we will be doing, of course, some shows throughout the off season, mostly when there's big news. But of course, we'll return in January every couple of weeks, I hope, with some guests that we've lined up through seeing the Grey Cup, I hope. So that is the plan. Tell everybody where everybody can find you on the Twitters and things.
Don't they know yet? Jeez.
Well, every week. There's new listeners
never
every
hurts
week.
to remind them.
That's right, yeah.
If you want. At Duchess Lombardi.
See, this is great because these are the new people that'll get to meet you next year.
That's right. That's what they want to get all excited.
It's true.
That's
Meet
right.
the Duchess.
Like Graham, jeez.
That's right.
Graham.
Nice.
He's a hugger.
Yeah, he is.
You can find me at 56 Sparkies.
Perfect. And you can find me at Freepalicious, and of course the show at Esk Empire Pod.
Freepalicious? I thought that was Travis.
Yeah, that's fine. That was well played. Yeah. Only on the cards.
Only on the
That's
cards.
right. I got so many followers that weekend.
Error cards are worth more. I'm just
That's
saying,
right.
Trav.
Everyone thinks I'm a pierogi king. It's fantastic. Thank you again to our sponsor, United Construction Company. Check out their website at unitedconstruction.ca. And of course, you can find their Twitter as well at UCC_EDM. You down with UCC?
Yeah, you know me.
Perfect. Make sure you find us as well on all of our social channels. You can find all the links on eskempire.ca. As I said, we'll be back in January, but unless we can set up this thing with Dave and Morley sooner, we'll try and have a season wrap up. And of course, if we are able to, we will wrangle some great guests as we get further into the business season. If we don't catch you, I hope you have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas from all of us here, and a Happy New Year. So are we ready for all the craziness that is business season?
Absolutely.
There might be a little question mark on the end of that. All right. For Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you very soon.
Merry Christmas!
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.